fact that illegal immigrants hold 7 or 8 million jobs, which are about 1/4 of the number of unemployed in the United States, which is between 25 and 30 million, pushing 20%, the real unemployment rate. And given that, according to forecasts by new normal economists, that our GDP would have to grow at 3.5% a year just to begin to absorb the legal immigration plus the natural increase from citizens graduating from schools, absorb them in employment. Would you be in favor, not only, of course, of ending illegal immigration, but of reducing legal immigration?
Okay, sir. There's 4 parts in your 1-part question.
At least 2 parts.
Well, let me break it down as I listen.
Okay.
First of all, we have a problem securing our borders because we have an immigration policy that's not being enforced. So the first part is your question, yes, we need to enforce the laws we have on the books with the immigration policy that exists. So yes. 2, what do we do with the 11 to 15 million estimate illegals that are in the country already? Is the second part, that are eating up jobs and are undocumented. The second part, as I heard it. I don't have an answer for that. Tell you what, no one else does. But I tell you what we need to do.
Some people do.
Well, a lot of people have theories. Theories are a wonderful thing.
Well, a theory is an answer. And one theory is that all you have to do is pass worker ID, for example, and then they'd leave.
Let me get that. I'll tell you what. You run for Congress, and I'll do that, because that's right.
Neither Lowy voted against worker ID.
Yeah, let me tell you where I was going with that. And the gentleman is right. Yeah. The difference between the documented work and the undocumented work is the document. The reason why it's a problem for us because we're not taxing their labor. So in other words, what you're saying is, let's get a system within the 50 states on how to figure out to get those folks documented and start taxing them, so we can get them our money out of them. So now there is a solution that's been offered. I've been reading up on this, and I invite you all to do so too. I've been reading up on it. I've been doing some homework on it. It's called Red Card, Red, R-E-D, card. And the gist of it in a nutshell is to turn around and make it a capital solution, a capitalist solution, turn it into a business. If all of a sudden we create a business of figuring out how to document the undocumented, get them to pay taxes, identify themselves, and figure out a way of making a profit out of it, it will become a business, and B would solve the problem. Much of it includes finding the undocumented workers that there are, getting them into the red card system. A red card system basically works on the 2 borders. It works in international borders on the Canada-Mexico side, and also on different countries. And what it is it ships them, it gives the funds to ship them back to the country where they came from, and reprocess them back with a sponsor. What's the other thing? A sponsor and an employer. You know, like a place to live. You know, a sponsor and somebody who would hire them. And it works out that the dollars would generate new revenue. It would be taxed. And it's an interesting theory. So that's the third part of your thing. The fourth part, which is basically has been ignored, is that it's been called immigration policy and immigration, but it really isn't. What it is a national security problem. And that happens to be my forte, and that's through the lens that I see it. And I think that much of it, we need to understand the national security implications of it. So the solution lies in just the same way that everyone in this room, basically, show me with a show of hand, how many when you left your house today did you lock your door? Okay. Your house is open, we'll be over there in a minute. Basically is the same logic. You lock your house, you lock your car. Why? Because you want to secure it. Well, if you have enough sense to lock your house and lock your car, we should have enough sense to lock our borders, to protect our borders. Okay? It is absolutely a national security issue. The issue that we're watching and happening at the southern border is a drug war. It has nothing to do with immigration. It has to do with drug cartels fighting each other to take control of our southern border, to smuggle in drugs into the United States. That's it. That's the bottom line. That's the nutshell. Now, should I be your congressman? I will then be privy to the classified information that supports what I'm saying, and then there will be a solution to address that.
Okay, but the fifth part of my question then...
Oh, now it's 5.
We could have an answer.
The man has been asking questions.
And what I'm saying is that our GDP would have to go with 3.5%. It's only growing up less than 2% now. The new normal economists predict it will remain this way at a very low 2%, 2.5 for the next 10 years. Are we supposed to absorb...
I don't do tea leaves, sir. I don't do tea leaves. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Economists say this, the other one say that. Friedman says flat earth. You know what it is? We have the most ingenious workforce in human history right here in the United States. And I am an optimist. So I'm going to look at it from an optimistic point of view, and I think that the solution to our economic woes fall within the United States and the people of the United States and the workers of the United States. Let's invest in them, and I think we can overcome all of this. Sorry, yes, sir.
You say you want to stop them at the border, but our Border Patrol, their hands are literally tied.
Sure.
These guys are going to jail.
I agree.
Our Border Patrol
That is an absolute
going
disgrace.
to jail for stopping these people from coming across. I have to disagree with you with the red card thing, because the red card thing here is, I mean, looking at it, you're giving credence to these people. You're condoning them to come in. You can come in. It's okay if you come in, but we're going to tax you to come in. We need to stop it. They can't come in. That's the bottom line. They need to do what we did. Our ancestors did. They need to go through a proper way. But to
Excuse me. Let's stick with questions at the beginning, okay? Anybody, I'll open it up to some general discussion a little later, but let's stick with questions for the candidate right now.
What's your plan?
What a question, Parker.
Okay. What's your plan to stop it at the border?
Thank you, sir. First of all, I don't think we agree or disagree on red card. I just said I've been researching and reading up on it, checking it out. I'm looking for a solution on that. I prefaced it that I don't know, and I won't pretend to know. But I tell you what, I'm the only one to tell you that because no one else knows either. The problem is here already. So that have to be addressed in a prudent and intelligent manner. And that's with information. Now, from the national security standpoint, here's the plan. Right now it seems that we need to enforce the immigration, the border security laws that we have on the books. I would not oppose federalizing our international borders. I would not oppose that whatsoever. I think that we have to take a national security approach with teeth in it. And I think that it's a national disgrace for politics that our border agents are being criminalized or charged for criminal charges for doing exactly what it is that we're having to put out there. That is a travesty, and I oppose it with every fiber in my body. I cannot put that to you more strongly, sir.
So you would go after the United States District Attorney then, because he's the guy that's prosecuting these Border Patrol guys.
Sir, as your United States Congressman, that man will catch bloody hell from me for that. Yes, sir.
Good to know.
Hi, Judith.
Any other?
Hi. What about the illegals that are here already? I mean, I personally know, very personally, at least 4 bus drivers, that you get those buses and you put these people on them, those guys will take the money for driving them across the border to wherever home they
give this
used to
a
be.
second chance.
What?
I'm a bus driver, that's all.
No, and I've got 3
Oh, it's
others.
not this one?
No, well, I mean, these guys, there's 3 others in my family.
Yes, ma'am.
Or just- yeah,
That's where now, as a federally elected official,
Yeah.
what I would go for, I believe that I would give and promote the laws on the books. I believe that 287G is a viable law enforcement tool for local law enforcement to enforce. So yes. Oh, 287G, that gives, nutshell, that gives a local law enforcement officer the authority to, if on another infraction or whatever it may be, if he finds out that that person happens to be here, an illegal immigrant here, gives him the authority to hand them over to the federal government.
What about the millions of others that...
I don't have an answer for that, Julie. That's like trying to herd cats. So that's a really serious problem that deserves serious consideration. But to turn around and pretend like I have a magic wand solution to that, I don't. Like I was talking about that red card idea that I've been reading up on, it offers basically a business model solution to the problem, and that's the part I like about it. The business model part of it, that is not all governmental, that it becomes a business. I don't know, I kind of like that, but I need to do some more homework on it, as do everyone else. But for the problems that we have here, force the law on the books, give the law enforcement the tools that they need to enforce it, make the federal government do what they're supposed to do, and on the international side of it, I have no qualms with federalizing the international borders. No problem at all.
Any other questions? Okay, Tim?
Your predecessor giving some people amnesty that's here illegal, and I just wonder where you would stand on that if someone was here illegal and came to you as a congressman.
I don't believe amnesty is a solution. I don't believe amnesty is even an option. I think amnesty is part of the problem. You don't give more crack to a crackhead and think you're going to get him off crack. So it doesn't work. So don't do it. It's a waste of time. Also, look, this is the real bottom line of it, right? Let's talk Turkey. We either have an immigration policy or we don't. Oh, you don't. So you either say open borders, let everybody in, and that's it, and it's done, and admit that we have no control over it, or you do. So as your congressman, it is my job to make sure that the laws that we've passed are enforced, and that the law enforcement officers have all the tools and all the funding and all the training required to do their job. And if somebody stops them from doing their job, or someone in the government, like the Attorney General, lays criminal charges against a Border Patrol officer for doing his job, then yeah, I would be the first congressman standing up asking for answers, because the power that I have as your congressman is the power of spending and funding. And if one of those agencies want money out of me and want my vote out of me, then they better come up with some answers why our Border Patrol officers are being chilled with a C, C-H, I'm a little nasal, chilled, cooled down from doing their job more enthusiastically. So that's my position on it. And I'm open to ideas. I'm open to learn. You know, we're learning creatures, so I'm open to learn. With new information, we'll learn. So I'm open to it.